Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of Let's Play Xenosaga. I'm revoicing this episode over because it's absolutely terrible commentary. So we're going to go have a look in the shop, which is nearby. You want to stock up on some revives, maybe some cure-alls later on, although we are out of the segment where there are loads of those flying things. But there we are going to pass a segment where we need the Snake Hunter, or at least Poison Defense. So stock up on that, because you don't have to trek all the way back here. So stock up on the items you want. You can then also buy, as I say, you don't get any money in this area because of the Gnosis. They don't give you money, so you need to be careful how you spend it, and you need to have 6,000 when we enter the next area. Now, that's going to be fairly easy to get. There's actually going to be no problem with that because you can dive back in the EVS and get it, or you can sell what you get from some of the enemies later on, called Unicorn Horns. They sell for like 500 a piece, and you can get about 10 of them here, so you can get virtually all you need, so it's a pretty handy thing. But that's the last place you'll be able to buy anything. So let's just go through here and put a few abilities on. Not too bothering now, just sort of checking through what we can do, because we need to check through what sort of things there are. I do cut away a lot of the crap that I do in this episode, because for the rest of the episodes, the next 3 parts are just rubbish on my account. I was just awful when playing them. I felt awful, looked awful, played awful. So we're going to smash these canisters and head straight into the boss, called Perm. Now, he's a bit of a nasty person. I went in completely unprepared, and I also went in with Momo, which isn't the worst thing to do. It'd be much better to take Shion in, because Shion can survive more hits, but mainly Shion can actually attack. Now, this guy seems to counterattack when he has his ether attacks up. On the editing stage at the moment, I haven't yet put in his little transition, so I can't tell you what he's weak against, but I do know that he's weak against Slash, I think, and Shion has a specific combo which can deal that. I think it's square and triangle. Now skip that before we have to see actual nakedness, and we're going to try and steal from it an ether upgrade Z, or ether upgrade, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what that's related on as well, but yeah, he seems to, if you see here, do that, and then he doesn't counter boost. But if you use Lunar Wings, he does counter boost, and also he absorbs Beam. So it's a pretty nasty little boss there. He is just a palette swap, if you will, of the ones we saw earlier on. And sadly, a few mini-bosses are just palette swaps of other ones, but with stats that are ridiculous. Anyway, it's 1,500 HP, or at least he is now, because I healed him so much. So yeah, just try not to pull off Lunar Seal either, because he just boosts, counter boosts, and hurts you, and it's not fun. There we go, see, counter boost. And then he'll use his nasty electric attack, which deals for quite a large amount. See, that's what you do. You want to try and use Mode A7 while doing that as well, because I love the way they actually, I like the way they actually filter out the last bit of the attack, so it doesn't look, so you know, when you hit usually it's blah blah blah, you know what I mean. There we go, that's Magic Caster. Ooh, look at us, we've got an item. What's the item going to be? Oh, it's an Ether Upgrade Z. I already told you that, and you already saw it in the corner on the thing anyway. You can use it again, and then it seals its normal item as well. Something handy to do in bosses, if you're not sure about, you'll get it at the end, even though you will. If you just like to get it during the battle, I'd recommend doing that, because why not? And because we're about to go Lato di Ital, which is actually Latin, but a lot of us can't find out what it means, or if it actually is Latin or something else. But I love the effects on this game, because they're epic in the sense of they're small epic, whereas look at something like Final Fantasy XII with the quickenings. Those were just like an excuse for a large scale epic. You see, he counter boosts whenever Chaos uses an attack, which would show that he counter boosts whenever a Spirit is used against him, which is pretty nasty. I don't like that guy. But yeah, he should be able to, fairly easy to take down. He's just a bit of an idiot, really. So I need to make a point of killing him on the point score, I think. Oh god, that was a joke I used in the original episode. Better place, but yeah, I cut it all out because it was boars. So yeah, as I record this was recorded on a sick day quite a while ago. And yeah, that's really it. It'll be totally out of place, and some of the things I'm saying may not even appear, but there you go. You can deal some nice damage there, but it just counter boosts with everything. It's really irritating. So you're gonna have to keep on the defensive with Momo, just constantly healing. You could even put her in the back row to stop her from getting attacked during this fight. But as I said, I bring in Xion because Xion can do a bit more multitasking and maybe lay some more damage down on the whole thing. She can't use Slash, but maybe she can use at least deal some damage to the enemy. Whereas Momo is dealing single-digit damage, which is pretty rubbish. Like double-digit damage, DDD. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of something recently. You know the Dream Drop Distance? I didn't realise that it was 3 Ds, which is 3D, 3DS, 3D. You put an apostrophe in and you get the term of how many Ds there are in Dream Drop Distance. It's on 3DS as well. And I was like, oh my god, shit bricks. Then I realised it probably was called that for a specific reason, and Square Enix were being clever. And Nomura was probably trying to be clever because he wants to try and win back the people who think his storylines are a convoluted piece of shit. Pardon me, which they are, when you've had to look at them in the depth. I have. Which is why now I appreciate playing a game with a complicated storyline that actually employs someone who works with continuity. Like I was watching the ending credits for episode 3, and there is literally one guy, who is credited under the game for continuity. What was it? Continuity. That's the one. I was getting there eventually. I was like, well, that's pretty good. You actually got someone to look back and think, oh, this doesn't make any sense, which is pretty awesome. And you know, more pats on the back for the Xenosaga franchise, while they weren't having money taken off them for well, because people didn't think they would do too well, and they took money off it. But the first game sold pretty darn well, I seem to recall, and it got quite a lot of good praise, apart from obviously the praise of its spacing. It's how the game fits, which is total balls. Like for example, you've seen how it is already. You know, you've got the cutscene, you've got the a long bit of gameplay, then you've got another cutscene. Whereas episode 3 is more, there is gameplay, but there are cutscenes in that gameplay that are quite short, but there are big chunks between it, but it never feels as overwhelming as this game. Mainly because I think this is an introduction to the franchise, and there was a lot of new technology and technobabble. But there we go, we just finished it, we got a ×2 bonus points, which is balls because you will get literally, you get more points from that than that for nearly any other fight you do in this building. So unless you get them on a ×4 or ×10 point score, it's not even worth it, man. Just try and kill it. Just try and dish out as much damage as possible and kill it. So yeah, that's that done. Yeah, I'm going to skip out all what I do here. I was going to try and look around, see what everyone needed ether point upgrade, but no one does. Now we're going to head into one of the most annoying battles. It's a Hydra, so make sure you have someone who can deal fire damage into your party. Chaos can also learn a fire attack, a fire ether, so that's something you might want to look into for this fight. Otherwise, be prepared for a little bit of a long, hard slog. We've got 380 attack, probably best bringing in Ziggy if you've got Cyber Kick. I'm just going to escape and spend a while looking around, seeing who's the best person, and then bring Xion in. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I bother with Momo anymore. I mean, she's good when she gets some of her other attacks later on, but Xion I always find just beats her in every way. If you transfer life shot over, she pretty much gets. I mean, she gets really good. Because all Xion needs is a kind of medium to low end ether attack that's really cheap for that kind of boost. So that's why I transfer life shot over. And really Medica Roll, which she learns later on, is ridiculously expensive. So as soon as you can, there is an item which lowers all EP costs to 1 or halves all EP costs, and that is a must for Xion. In fact, it's even better if you can extract the skill from it and then give it to someone else. And then you can extract the skill and your entire party can be dealing damage, can be dealing EP attacks. And yeah, if you get, for example, there is a ultimate ether attack called, I think, Erdekaiser Fury. So Erdekaiser, sorry. And basically, Xion gets all those attacks from the robot arms. You see them later on. But the ultimate attack deals 999 damage, which is most than any boss has, and of course it's extremely cheap. But it takes literally all your ether points. So the best way to do that is simply to equip that bangle, and you can have as many tries as you want of it, I think. The only problem is you can only equip that particular ether. It takes up all 12 slots of your ether list. So really, it turns Xion into just a killer as opposed to anything else. She's got an inability to do anything else like healing. So I never use that unless I'm really stuck in a fight, and really it's just a cheap victory. I mean, I will show you some bonus episodes how easy the final boss and the penultimate final boss are with that, not giving away anything. But yeah, for those of you who are also disappointed by the lack of albedo, who saw him previously, he was like, "Pierce me with your hatred." God, I love him so much. But we'll see him in a while, but he'll become, well, he'll definitely take centre stage very shortly, which is brilliant for me. I'm not a fan of FG shot, really. I mean, it just seems, I don't know, it's stronger than all the other attacks you get given, but they kind of give you a beam or a spread weapon or something like that, which is useful. Because at the moment we're just dealing bug standard damage. I think that's the problem with this game, is that without knowing what they're weak against, you can really have a tough time defeating them. I mean, it's the same with most games, but most games I can kind of get through them without knowing what an enemy's weak against. For this game, knowing what's weak against, boosting and giving the correct combos is really all there is to it. But yeah, I just loved it. For those of you wondering if there's a difference with my voice in this episode, there probably is. I had a bit of a throat problem, so luckily I recorded a mass shit tons of episodes beforehand. Literally, up to the end of this place, it's another 2 hours of recording. Don't worry, I'll speed up all fights. I'll probably remove fights after a while, and some of that would be my training before actually going to defeat the final boss of the area. So yeah. For those of you who've wondered, this place does look a lot like Ariadne, and we're in the Ariadne shopping mall. And yeah, a lot of you have guessed that that planet, which was destroyed by, well, the Utig, ended up inside a Gnosis. And if that's the case, that person right at the beginning of the game should have ended up inside this Gnosis. Well, of course we won't find him now, because he'll be dead. But yeah, I brought Ziggy in, why, I don't know, we'll find out now that it was a waste of time. You really, for this fight, need Chaos and Xion and Cosmos. They're pretty much the best team for this area. Why? Because Cosmos can deal so much damage to those, Xion with Spell Rate can deal a lot of damage to those, and so can Chaos. So you've just got a team just going bam, 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 bang, and it just destroying them. And of course Ziggy doesn't do very much at all. Lightning Blast is pretty pathetic. It's generally not that great. I mean, you see 118, whereas that's Xion's. I mean, that's Xion's regular attack, and the same with Cosmos. Really, you want to. The thing is with these, you want to kill them quickly because also that they're fizzing up. You know, when they start to react with sodium bicarbonate, because of course they're vinegar. When they start to fizz up and start doing really nasty stuff like that, they can get quite violent, and you kind of want to stay away because you don't want to get it in your eyes. Not euphemism, it's kind of like, I'm just trying to get away with it by saying, yeah, don't do it. Anyway, getting a ×4 on these dudes is nice, but of course, as I said, they've not got much in the way of any other points bar tech points, so you will be left with the sad feeling that you could have been better spent. Like on the unicorns we can see at the bottom. Those are mean, vicious creatures. They're really ugly, but more importantly, you get a nice... They are the best thing to grind up on in this area if you want a good range of tech, ether, and skill points, and I do grind up on them later on. Because I need them, like, so much, because I want to... Basically, by the end of this segment, what I want to learn is a stealing move for Xion called Queen's Kiss. That will take at least 2 other point steps. I want to just boost up everyone's tech points, skill. Teach Chaos a lightning-based ether, which will be, I think, Heaven's Wrath, I think. And that's really it. I want to also extract some skills so that, because this cast thing called Lost, I'm not too sure what it does, but it's generally not good. It's more the Cardcaptor Sakura stuff. But yeah, you kind of want to do that by the end of this area. So if you can keep that in mind, work out what you have to do to get there. Really, everyone else in your team isn't going to do any good. And if you're wondering who's going to fulfill your Pierce, because most people here don't have the Pierce option. I mean, Xion doesn't, Chaos doesn't. No, Chaos does actually. Pardon me. Cosmos does as well, but not primarily. Whereas that's where Junior comes in, because Junior obviously will join our main party soon enough. That wasn't bloody obvious, because they wouldn't have just had a random segment with a random person.
Sorry, are you...
I'm sorry, are you... Oh my goodness. In the second game, she grows up and actually becomes a decent character. In this game, she's all ether lolly, where in the next game, she's all ether and she has a bow and arrow, which is really, really freaking sweet. I mean, I use her mainly because of that, because she's long ranged, so you can put her in the back and just, you know, I forget, does Xenosaga 2 have like, I don't think it does actually. I think it just is line of people. No, maybe it does. I never made use of it. I should play Xenosaga 2 again, because of course I'm going to have to start learning for it. But as I said, I'm going to try and cut a lot of things and get on with this game a bit faster. But I don't want to remove too much meat of it, because like the battles are meat, because otherwise it'll be running and cutscenes, it'll just be like a movie. So I do not want to keep battles in, just for that reason really. Now I'm stood here because I'm an idiot and I'm totally confused where to go. Don't head down just yet. That leads you right out. You want to head down and through there, because there is a segment address, and there is a lot of good items there, and there are 2 unicorns, which are really quite good to get. So that's really it for this episode. I apologise that we didn't get much covered. I'll try to shorten it as much as possible without actually straight out removing the battles, and I went and voiced it over for you, because I thought it was that crap. So let's head through here in the next episode of Xenosaga, and we'll take on some unicorns, and hopefully that'll be it. See you guys.